In a quiet neighborhood of a growing city, there lived a young man named Daniel. Daniel was not lazy, at least that's what he always told himself. He had dreams like everyone else, big dreams. He wanted to start his own business. He wanted to be financially free. He wanted to prove to the world that he was capable of achieving something meaningful. But there was a problem. Daniel had developed a habit that slowly destroyed his progress without him even realizing it. He always had an excuse. Every time he failed to take action, he had a reason ready. I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired today. I don't have the right resources yet. I need more time to prepare. At first, these excuses sounded reasonable, but days slowly turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and months quietly turned into years. While Daniel kept planning his future, life around him kept moving forward. His friends started building careers, some opened small businesses, others learned new skills and moved ahead. Daniel watched them succeed, but deep inside he comforted himself with the same thought: my time will come. One evening, after another long day of doing almost nothing productive, Daniel went for a walk. He walked through a nearby park where an old man sat on a bench feeding birds. Daniel had seen this man many times before. The old man always looked calm and thoughtful. For some reason, that evening, Daniel felt like sitting near him. After a few minutes of silence, the old man looked at Daniel and asked gently, "You seem troubled, young man. What's on your mind?" Daniel hesitated for a moment, but then he spoke honestly. "I feel like I'm capable of doing something great, but I never seem to start. Every time I plan to work toward my goals, something gets in the way." The old man smiled slightly. "Something or excuses?" Daniel looked down. He knew the old man was right. The old man picked up a small stone from the ground and handed it to Daniel. "Hold this," he said. Daniel held the stone in his hand. "Now imagine," the old man continued, "that every time you make an excuse instead of taking action, you place one stone in a bag." Daniel listened quietly. At first, the bag feels light. One excuse does not seem like a big problem. But after hundreds, even thousands of excuses, the bag becomes very heavy. Daniel slowly understood the meaning. The old man looked at him and asked, "Tell me, Daniel, how heavy do you think your bag has become?" Daniel had no answer, because deep inside he knew the truth. His bag was full. Years of excuses, years of waiting, years of delaying the life he wanted. The old man continued, "Most people believe success is about talent, luck, or intelligence, but often the real difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is very simple. They stopped making excuses." Daniel felt those words hit him deeply. For the first time, he saw his problem clearly. It wasn't lack of opportunity. It wasn't lack of ability. It was his habit of avoiding responsibility for his own actions. That night, Daniel went home and sat quietly in his room. He thought about all the time he had wasted, all the ideas he never tried, all the plans he never started. Then he made a decision, a very simple but powerful decision. From that day forward, he would stop making excuses. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more blaming circumstances. No more telling himself tomorrow. The next morning, he woke up earlier than usual. Instead of scrolling on his phone, he began working on the business idea he had been postponing for years. The first day was difficult. The second day was even harder. There were moments when his mind tried to return to old habits, but every time he felt the urge to make an excuse, he remembered the bag of stones, and he refused to add another one. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and months quietly turned into years. Slowly, things began to change. Daniel was not perfect. He still made mistakes. He still faced challenges. But there was one major difference now. He kept moving forward. And step by step, progress started to appear. A year later, Daniel stood in front of a small office space that belonged to his own company. It wasn't a huge success yet, but it was real. It existed because he finally took action. As he looked at the sign on the door, Daniel remembered the old man in the park and the simple lesson he had shared. Excuses are heavy. They quietly steal years of your life. But the moment you stop carrying them, you finally become free to move forward. And sometimes the most powerful day in a person's life is the day they stop making excuses and start taking responsibility for their future. Because that is the day everything begins to change. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who might need this reminder today. And remember one simple truth. Success doesn't start when conditions are perfect. Success starts the moment you decide that excuses are no longer part of your life.